Okay guys, so this is the second part of this, and it is clothing. So I'm going to turn on the light just so you can see it a little better. I usually work in pencil first, and then I'll work in ink second. This is the one that we just did. Like I said, there are two other ones that you can reference. So this male and this female are obviously available on LMS to print out and reference and dress, essentially. But we're just going to go with this one. So I've decided for this one, we're going to create a superhero. So I'm going to create one of those typical superhero outfits, you know the kind, like Wonder Woman wears, or like Captain Marvel, that sort of stuff. So it's going to be, like, in my mind, I'm picturing that kind of outfit, and then I'm going to have almost like a basic idea already of what I want. So remember, at this point, you should have those reference photos, so you kind of have a clue of what you're going with, and then you're going to add the clothing. So first thing you do, or first thing I'm doing, is I'm going to add the cape, because I definitely know that I want a cape on this character. And you'll notice too, as I'm putting a collar on her for the cape. As I'm putting the collar on, I am going to just ensure that it is over the shoulder so that the clothing sits on top of it. Okay, so I want it to look like the clothing is on top. I don't want it to look like the clothing is like this. Like, that is not a t-shirt. That pretty much is like painted onto her skin. So clothing also looks like this. So it usually has these kind of lines in it. And that's because it folds, right? So then this is a cape. This is also going to make the other side very, very easy, because again, she's wearing a cape. And again, there's a fold. So you want to ensure the fold is there. Now, this is where you get creative, obviously. This is pretty much sky's the limit in terms of what you want to add, what you want to take away, how you want this to look. So for my character, I'm going to add high gloves. These are also referred to as opera gloves. Okay, so she's going to have really, really high gloves. And then maybe like a cuff, so like a computer cuff on her arms. I'm going to make it so that they're on both arms. Remember, I'm going for a stereotypical superhero here, but you can do anything you want. Okay. So I want to make sure too that this goes over top of the line that is supposed to be her body, because remember, she's wearing the clothes. I'm going to make this to have like a high, almost like bodysuit, and then under here is going to be like pants. So this design is going to be like on her. So these are the pants. Okay, and then deciding, obviously here, I'm going to put a star, because that's just going to be her logo. Now, if you're doing a female, you have to remember that the breasts go over, so there's going to be a fold there. Okay, so it's going to have a little bit of a fold. Males don't generally have that because it's flat. And then I'm going to make the star go all the way down, because symmetry is awesome. Okay, and then again, these are just designs, so they don't really need anything. The cape is obviously still hanging over. Okay, so for this, I'm going to add high boots. Again, they're going to go around the calf. And then in boots, as in most shoes, if you look here, there's like a line where your foot goes, and then this is going to be the line for the zipper. You don't obviously have to have that, but I'm just going to have that, and then I'm going to just smooth out where the ankle is, because you wouldn't be able to see her ankle directly through her boots. Okay, so now for me, this is the basic form. It looks good. I like how it looks. I'm going to go into it. For you guys, I want you guys to be as detailed as possible with this. Remember, we want to have like a really good design here. This design is going to be about 50% of your mark. So you want to make sure that every part of it you are happy with. You might be happy with something simple. Simple is good. Simple is fine. But please make sure that if you're doing something simple, you want it to be okay. You want it to look good. So, the back, I'm going to, even though the cape would be on the back, I'm just going to do the outline of the cape because I do want to be able to see through the cape. So I'm just going to do a basic outline. I know that there's a high collar here because I created it. Collars go back, and then it's go like this. Okay, and there, of course, everything is going to go like that. Okay, so the reason I'm keeping this outline very light is because I am going to design the back of her outfit. Just doing the cape is kind of a cop-out. So what I want to do then is think about what the back of this would look like. Remember, the idea is I'm creating a superhero, they would be seen from the back and the front. Okay, it's not like Iron Man only ever shows the front of his suit. Sometimes you see it from the back. So it should relate. So if you look here, I've made like a line that goes over her shoulder. Well, obviously over the shoulder is going to appear on the back. Okay, so it doesn't have to be as detailed as the front. I should probably do a neckline here somewhere. So I'm going to do a neck there, which would make the neckline up here. Okay, again, these lines go down and then these things curve up. So I want to essentially make sure that that is something I also have on the back. And they are part of the shorts. So I would actually make these into shorts. Kind of like Robin has. Okay, these would be a pair of tights and then the back of the boots. And the back of the gloves. And this is actually might be a good place to put the zipper if you didn't put them already on that part. Okay, so you might be like, this is a basic outfit, superhero. Again, I don't need to do anything other than this. And now, since I have this, I'm going to ink it. As you know, I already inked the figure itself. I am just going to add the ink in now. And I'm not going to shade with the ink. I'm just doing it so that I, again, can erase these pencil lines. I'll worry about the actual shading as soon as the pencil lines are out of the way. That's mostly because I don't want all of the graphite from the pencil interfering when I start coloring this, which will be the next tutorial and the next video if you're actually watching it. The reason is if you keep graphite on your page, so for example, that's already made it darker. And when you try to put your colors on, what's going to happen is it's going to make all of your colors look just a little bit gray, which might be fine for some people, but for some people that's going to really screw it up. So for example, this is a superhero. I obviously want her colors to be fairly bright. And if everything has like a gray tone that I'm fighting against, it's going to be a lot harder for me to blend colors properly. Okay, so this is me generally outlining her. Okay, again, special care to the fabric and the way the fabric falls. Gravity is a thing. So it's going to fall with gravity. I'm also doing the hands. If you don't want to draw hands, it's a good idea to make them into little fists because generally that's the easiest thing to do. Now I'm just going to show you what it looks like, even though I do have to ink the other side. This is a kneading eraser, so this is my eraser. Okay, and I want to make sure I've gotten most of the pencil off. And you could usually see, once you have most of the pencil off too, it definitely shows you the areas that you may have forgotten to finish up. So then you take your ink again and you just tidy up those areas. See, I forgot to put the cuff on her wrist. Okay, boots are fine. Oh, I forgot to do these. All right. Okay, so now I have the fully inked figure. What we're going to do next is we're going to go to the coloring section. So that will be the next tutorial, and I will probably do it in just a few minutes.